let's sit here and make sure that this thing works. Let's see. Yeah, my settings set up. Yes, it is. It is starting. How's it going, comrade? Let's see if we're gonna be here. We are live and in charge. How's everybody doing tonight? Main thing is I'm gonna have like 2 or 3 topics that I'm actually interested in. I'm gonna be sitting here and changing this thing for what's tonight's rant. And I'm thinking about a name, but let's see. Nighttime with Jagos, no. Nightly, Jagos Nightly. For tonight, we're just gonna call it Jagos Nightly. If anybody has any ideas, please don't be afraid to let me know and basically tell me what's going on. We're gonna be talking about for-profit colleges. For-profit colleges. Go ahead, sit here and give you the link in the bottom. The Nation sat here and had a really good one about how for-profit colleges here in the United States are basically hoodwinking students. Now, this also coincides with what Debbie Wasserman Schultz has been saying, so I'll have a little bit to say about that and what's going on with the two-party system. We also want to sit here and get into, let's see, basically how the Democrats have basically zigged left and then are trying to get to the end zone being right wing, and it's not really going to work. It's going to make them corporate Democrats and corporate whores, the very thing that they were sitting here and upset that someone actually called them out for. So those are the types of things that we're going to be talking about tonight, along with possibly one other topic. I haven't quite figured it out or gotten it yet, but I figure if I look at Twitter long enough, maybe I'll have an idea. But it may just be that instead I might just look into Jody Dean and ask people to sit here and give me more information about her. One of the things that I just looked up today was the limits of the web in an age of communicative capitalism. I don't know how this is a communicative capitalism, but it's something that I'm going to have to sit here and look into. It's a 40-minute detail, and I might be going over that a little bit. Now, I'm not the only one that has gone over what has been going on, but I'll go ahead and I'll give you all a link in the underbar so we can sit here and do preliminary work on Jody Dean. Anybody that wants to look into it, Jody Dean, a Lacanian Marxist. That's exactly what she puts herself as. So we'll put that down in the underbar. Tap tap tap. And the other thing, let's see, I gotta sit here and see if I can find it. Let's see, Sane Progressive, because she talked about this and it's been something that I actually looked into.
Hi.
And unfortunately with the Sane Progressive, Clinton tax hard.
Hi.
Right, Maddow and corporate media move to bring Sanders and supporters to heel. Now this basically, we're going to get into the party aspect of it, because I don't think Sane Progressive actually gets into those types of details, and unfortunately that might be a weak point for her. But the good thing about, you know, the types of people that we sit here and we actually try to strengthen what is there already. So let me go ahead and put Sane Progressive down in the underbar. So we sit here, we basically use this to try to talk, see what is civil, what is going on. And basically, if you look on the screen, there's Lefty Bunker Chan. Where the heck did my other... Great, I gotta go and find Lefty Pol here so people can sit here and have their little pictures for the night. Let me see if I can find it. Bunker Chan, that's where you are. But where is... I can't find Lefty Pol. Here we go. Now we'll put that on, and we'll put that on the right and at the bottom. Right bottom. Dang. We'll just put that so that way it's just two different things. Bunker-chan, lefty pole. If y'all want to sit here and try to visit, talk, discuss left-wing politics and economics, there's plenty of people there. I know people are upset because rebel authority kind of constantly, name fags or whatever, but hey, it's been going on for a while. I really don't care. If someone name fags, there's always Reddit as well. And you all can also look into lefty politics there, as well as socialist beta, and try to sit here and get your Reddit fix if you really want a name fag. So, just a short plug. I happen to be the moderator of both, so hey, go over there, go nuts. Anyway, while I'm sitting here and talking, the first thing that I did, or I'm going to be talking about, is the for-profit colleges. Now, in the links below, you can basically sit here and look into the for-profit colleges. Now, what's happening here is that students are not being able to collectively bargain, and this is making them very, very, very heavily exploited by the corporations that have basically taken over our college sector. This links a lot into what Vox has been saying about the privatization of colleges, where a lot of colleges, instead of being public universities, are becoming vocational in a lot of ways. Now, with this vocation type deal, what is going on is basically that all of these students are being exploited, and most of their money is going to be going in rent to the colleges, who are basically taking both the federal government as well as the students to the cleaners. You can't have a class action lawsuit. You have to sit here and go through arbitration, and your local government is basically allowing this to happen and saying that it's your fault for making this happen. So you get a legal bill of $350,000. You have to enter into private arbitration. Private arbitration is you facing a corporate lawyer and a hostile arbitrator, which makes it very, very difficult for you to do the things that you need to do. You basically have a gag clause, and with this gag clause, you have to settle out of court with the institution. So here's what this basically tells me as a socialist. Our first job and our first order of business is to fight exactly what is going on here, and to basically make it so that the one thing that is supposed to be going on that have basically taken over our college. So what is basically supposed to be going on is the fact that with these, we have to sit here and control our state government to sit here and get it off the back of the students. After we get them off the back of the students, we also have to sit here and look into transforming those colleges, taking them out of the private hands and bringing them into the public sector. Now, ITT and all of these other companies, they have basically turned into a monopoly called, what was it? Lansing? No? I don't quite remember off the top of my head. But they have a lot of hedge funds in New York, and they're trying to sit here and make sure that the money that they're going to be getting is going to be coming from more and more students. You know, they're basically preying on the next generation instead of sitting here and giving them a quality education. The education and all of the things that they learn is pretty poor, but they get thrown into these quasi-legal proceedings that basically heavily favor the corporation and the scam that has been running, instead of anything, you know, worth a damn. So ITT Tech is one of them. I mean, DeVry is another. If you've heard a commercial for any kind of company, then basically you are in trouble, because these for-profit colleges, they've basically found this new way to hoodwink the student. Please give this a read. If you're a student of any sort, you're a student of any kind, go overseas, Try to get your education there, especially in America, because America is screwing over its next generation, particularly with all of the scams that are running in the high school generation. Okay, now for tonight's rant, the sane progressive. Now, what does the sane progressive have to say? For the most part, she's talking about Hillary Clinton has basically turned from being a quote-unquote progressive that gets things done into turning into the right-wing war hawk that she's always been. Now, some of the things that she talks about in this video is the fact that with regards to Hillary Clinton, she's going to talk to David Petraeus. David Petraeus is somebody that got into trouble with his own email scandal. Furthermore, she's talking to Robert Gates, who had questionable dealings with Iraq, and those types of deals that basically show that she's going to be a military war hog when she gets into presidency. So the corporate media has not held this woman to account. MSNBC, ABC, CBS, Fox News, none of them have really talked about the corporate deals and the corporate things that she's done. They don't care about fracking. They don't care about all these things. But what is happening is that they're undermining Bernie Sanders. Now, the Democratic Party has done this for 3, 4, maybe 5 progressives ever since McGovern. Even before McGovern, they were doing the same thing to Henry Wallace, where instead of Henry Wallace, they sat here and went with Harry Truman. When they went with Harry Truman, he dropped 2 bombs, whereas Henry Wallace wouldn't have done that over in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So you have that one. You have McGovern, who was absolutely character assassinated by Hubert Humphreys. He lost the election pretty badly because of the dirty tricks of both the Democratic Party as well as the Republican Party to undermine this guy. Another one, Dennis Kucinich. Oh, wait, he's short, blah, blah, blah. You get the corporate media, they smear him, and then all of a sudden, he drops out of the race. He had to be silenced. Howard Dean. You had the Dean screen. There was a manufactured discontent with him, but everyone ran the story, and he basically got screwed over by that. Nowadays, now that he's played ball with the corporations and sold out his soul, they're not sitting here talking about the Dean screen anymore. He's working for the pharmaceutical industry, so these are the types of things that are basically telling the people, you have to go over there, you have to vote for Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump. Now, here's a problem with that. With everything in regards to trying to make us fear Donald Trump, it is not working. It cannot work. Because the fact of the matter is, no matter how much of a con man Donald Trump really is, Hillary Clinton has already done all of the things that basically Donald Trump has done. If you look at him wanting to build a wall, Hillary Clinton has been supporting Israel for decades. Especially when one of her big benefactors is Haim Saban. And with Haim Saban, in regards to Israel, he's pretty far right wing. So that's a wash. What's also a wash is the fact that with regards to, racism, super predator line. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have, as a business, have locked up more people than any other group in America. I may be a little bit wrong on that, but the fact of the matter is, with regards to when they first went into office, they had 800,000 prisoners. And after they left office, they went to 2.7 million. So in 8 years, we've locked up more people than any other president beforehand. And we still have this problem of the private prison industry, and I don't trust Hillary Clinton whatsoever in regards to anything that she has to say. It's just absolutely ridiculous, but some people have to do that. So, xenophobia. I mean, this is the woman that basically wants to bomb Iran. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The fact of the matter is, in regards to Hillary Clinton, she's probably worse than Donald Trump, which is why a lot of the white working class vote. And I mean, there's a cross cultural group of people that basically want to vote Trump. I've seen some black, people that have basically said they'll vote for Trump, along with Ben Carson. But there's plenty of others that say they'll vote for Donald Trump. And now the reason that he looks so good is even though he's a con man, even though that he's failed his businesses 4 times, even though the very fact of the matter is he's lied and his name has been all over the place, but his businesses have not been that successful. These are not things that are being told to the people. Another thing that's not being told, he has 40 years of being connected to the mafia for a number of shady deals that have basically sat here and benefited him. So the fact of the matter is, you're not being told of Donald Trump, you're not being told of Hillary Clinton. They're basically, both of them combined, make up one type of Richard Nixon way back in the 70s, or 60s and 70s. With regard to Hillary Clinton, she's more of a corporate Democrat. That problem of what she's doing in regards to selling out to the corporations and the rich, that's exactly what Richard Nixon did. He just did it for the dairy farmers. And if you really want to sit here and know more about it, I'd say look into Lamar Waldron. It's an 800-page book, The Hidden History of Watergate. That's Richard Nixon, Hidden History of Watergate. Practically anybody can find it, and it's a great video. It's a great book to look into. In regards to other parts or problems or issues or commentary, the fact of the matter is, people can sit here and look at her global positions and see that Hillary Clinton has been pretty bad. I don't really like getting into Hillary Clinton as much as I should, but the fact of the matter is, she does a number of things. Whereas what she does is, in terms of a minimum wage, she had a problem when what would happen is the wage of Haiti going from 31 to 64 cents, she sat here and negotiated until it was 37 cents an hour. This is a woman that sits here and says $12 is just right, but $15 is what she had been supporting. She had been lying to all the people, and everyone sat here and called her on her bullshit. It is the fact that she sits here and says she doesn't want to be racist. She wants to sit here and end racism, but how is she going to do that? So just contradictions abound, and she keeps pandering to the right wing. The right wing doesn't even like her. The people on the right that like her are the corporate Democrats, corporate conservatives that have basically sat here and made up her foundation as of right now. The conservatives that she likes the most, David Petraeus, Robert Gates, I've said these names before. The fact of the matter is, she's sat here and even reached out to Jeb Bush's donors to sit here and get their money. So, in regards to Donald Trump, that's why Donald Trump looks so appealing. And Donald Trump has his own problems as well. With regard to Donald Trump, what is going on with him is the fact that, for all intents and purposes, he's lied better than anybody, but he's hitting back at Hillary, which is making the working class, the conservative working class, who have been told you can't trust the media, you can't trust all the problems, and you just got to listen to my punditry. Well, that pretty much ate up the Republican Party. So that's why when we're watching this right-wing tack and she's trying to sit here and get to the conservative vote, the conservatives have been hating on her for a number of reasons. Number one, she spied on the conservatives in the 1990s. Number two, if you're not going to sit here and look at all of the problems that they have, it's been deeper than Benghazi. I mean, if they're spying if she was using the FBI to spy on the conservatives, then there are plenty of other problems and scandals that she has in her backroom closet that I haven't even gotten into. But that's been all of the problems. I mean, for the most part, in regards to what she's doing, she has basically been single handed in just making it worse and worse for everybody in regards to how she does things in America. She sat here and screwed over the left wing, she screwed over the right wing. Nobody really trusts her, and it's just amazing. Stream is up. So, have any topics? Let me know here. Okay, sorry about that, but but that's what I wanted to get off my chest in regards to the same progressive, because I do think that it's a good video, but I'm pretty sure you all don't want to sit here and watch it all the time. If you don't, that's fine. I just usually give a little feeling of what I'm sitting here and thinking about as I'm reading this. Now, the final topic for tonight would be Jody Dean, and the fact with Jody Dean is I don't know much about her, but I am beginning to sit here and learn a lot more about her, because she's starting to make a lot of sense in terms of who I've been taught in regards to Lacanian Marxism, and I really am starting to sit here and like her. Not a lot of people, I don't know much about the Lacanian Marxist theory, but it is something worth looking into. If you can, please sit here and put something in the chat. I'll sit here and probably watch it, read it within this week to sit here and understand or learn more about it. And that's something that I think a lot of people want to sit here and look into, because for all intents and purposes, you have to sit here and recognize that different types of Marxists exist, different types of anarchists exist. We have to sit here and learn about each one and try to sit here and criticize and critique them. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing in the near future, I'm hoping to sit here and start picking up books, and after I read them, I'll sit here and give like an initial interview or review, try to look into these books, and then sit here and give my thoughts and opinions of each and every one of these. So with regard to Jody Dean, I've listened to parts of what she's had to say on some of the WebMs. She's gotten my attention because her way of just psychoanalyzing and using, I guess, a little bit of fraud with Marxian theory, it intrigues me. Similarly, I've seen the same thing with Richard D. Wolff, but he doesn't sit here and use the advanced jargon, and a lot of people are starting to sit here and learn that you have to talk to the working class a lot more, so they're not using a lot of crazy, complicated jargon that just kind of loses the audience. So that's why I probably won't read a lot of Trotsky, because from what I know, he seems to always like and enjoy just making a fool of himself in terms of like reading all these high-end books when he doesn't really need to. But hey, everyone has their faults. Everyone has their things that they were interested in or not interested in, so it's worth looking into and seeing what he has to say about it. Probably going to do that last after I sit here and try to learn a little bit more of the modern Marxian theories and theorists. I mean, hell, I still have to read Wilhelm Anton Amos, so that's one of the things that I'll probably be looking into in the near future. So for the most part, I don't have much other than that. If you all have any questions, that's probably going to be put into the next stream. Feel free to sit here and tell me what I'm doing right, wrong, ugly, and otherwise. And I'm going to keep it at 30 minutes for tonight, because I'm still sitting here still feeling a little bit tired, and I have a lot of things that I have to take care of tomorrow. Other than that, I'll see you all next time.